Now let's understand the Blit function with the help of a program. Now we are going to create one surface, and on that surface we are going to put two objects. So first thing is we will import the necessary libraries. So we are going to import the Pygame, which contains all the modules for the game development. After importing the Pygame, the next step is we are going to initialize the Pygame. So with the help of this step, we initializes all the modules in the Pygame. If you want to initialize the individual module, then you can also do that by just specifying the name here. But if you directly write pygame.init, it initializes all the modules in the Pygame at once. The next thing is we will create a window and we are going to set the parameters for it. So let's create a display and let's set a parameter for the display. So we need to create a tuple, and in the tuple we will pass the x and y coordinates. Creating the window, we are going to pass this size to the pygame.display.setMode function. So screen is equal to pygame.display dot set mode, and here we need to pass the size. The size is this. So let's change the name here. I'll give size. Now we have created the canvas on which we want to display everything. Okay, so these are the two steps to create a canvas, and on this canvas we are going to put different objects. Now after creating the canvas, now let's create a background on which we want to put these objects. So now we are going to create a surface with the same size. Okay, so we need to create a surface on which we want to put these all objects. So let's create a surface with the help of pygame.surface, and here I am going to pass the screen. Okay, now after creating the surface, now let's create another surfaces. Surfaces means objects. Now we are going to create some objects, and those are also called as surfaces only. Okay, so let's create a surface or the objects to be displayed on the background. Okay, so let's create different objects now. So create objects. So first is Pygame dot. You can use any drawing primitive here, or you can also load image. For now we will use some drawing primitives, like I'll draw the rectangle. So here you need to pass the surface on which you want to draw the rectangle. So this is the surface which we have created. I'm passing that surface here, and I need to specify the color. So let's use white color. White color means 255, 255, 255. It is the RGB format. It is a tuple. And then you need to pass the coordinates here. You can pass any coordinates. The next thing is we will draw the circle. So pygame dot draw dot circle, and again first parameter is you need to pass the surface on which you want to draw your object, and the next thing is you need to specify the color, and finally you need to specify the radius and the center position. Now after creating the two objects, now what we are going to do is we are going to put these two objects on the surface. To do that, we will use the Blit method. Screen.blit. So Blit method is used. Now what I want to put the surface on the screen. So let's pass the surface here, which we have created, and you can specify the position here, x and y coordinates. So you can specify any position, or you can specify 0th position. So pass the x and y coordinates. The last thing is, now the blend surface is created. Now update the display. To update the display, we will write pygame dot display dot flip. Flip method is used to update the specific areas of the screen. If you write update, then also it's okay, but it updates the entire area of the screen. So according to the computation time, flip method is better than the update method. And also it depends on how you want to update your screen. Now we need to create one while loop so that we can iterate through all these things, and then we can perform the event handling as well. So let's create a variable that is finish. So keep value 0. Now let's create a while loop, while not finish. So until and unless the value of finish remains 0, this loop will run. Now we are going to iterate all the events in pygame.event.get. So with the help of the get function, we are going to get all the events, and we are going to put all those events in a queue. So if you are hovering a mouse on the screen, if you're clicking, if you're pressing the keyboard, whatever you're doing, that everything will be logged in a queue, and you can get whatever the events are happening in the background with the help of pygame.event.get. Now we are going to iterate through each and every event, and we are going to check whether any event is equal to quit. Okay. So if event.type is equal to pygame.quit, if someone presses a quit button, then we are going to change the value of finish variable, and the loop will terminate. We will come out of the loop and the game will closed or quit. Okay, so let's quit. So if you want to quit the game, you can do that with the help of pygame.quit, and also at then you can write system.quit to close the program. So as we initialized the different modules, we can uninitialize all the modules with the help of pygame.quit. So now let's run this and see what happens. Invalid syntax, for loop. We got error. S is capital. Size needs to be in width and height. We need to pass the size here. I passed screen, so I should write size. See, we got the output. We got circle and rectangle. Now if you want to change the position of these two rectangles and circle, then you can do that by just changing the size here, coordinates here. Run. See, the coordinates are changed. So you can also dynamically update the coordinates of the Blit function, and you can move the object on the screen as well. So in this way you can use the pixel coordinates to put the object on the surface, and you can also animate that. We will learn it in the next chapter.